her. So
I actually haven't really done that much with them. I did one little performance at the Hard Rock, and then she invited me for this. But Patty's really nice. I've only met her once, but it's fun.
So have you guys done a lot of performances, or how did you get started in your music?
well, I've been around music ever since I was born. My mom sings, my dad plays drums. He was in a band. I started playing piano when I was like 4.5, 5.
Oh, wow.
I only started singing like a year ago, so singing's kind of new.
Take lessons?
Yep, I take lessons with a lady named Miss Sharon Jensen.
Cool. And how did you get started?
I started playing guitar like 2 years ago, and just started writing songs because I was bored one summer, and kind of got into the Boston area folk scene. So most of the time I'm playing in coffee houses and stuff for older people. But I've been doing some stuff with bullying lately, which has gotten me into schools and things. So I'm
What musicians
breaking
inspire you?
For me, I don't know that I have any like specific kind of genre or specific artist. It's really kind of like a whole mix of every kind of music and artist that I like to put into like my own kind of creation.
How about you?
When I first started out, Taylor Swift was a big inspiration, but since then I've kind of grown into more kind of the lyrics are more important to me, and I'm into more deeper things, and I'm a big fan of Bob Dylan. I really like Christopher Drew of Never Shout Never, Katie Groves, kind of more alternative people.
So we saw, Hayley, we saw your video, your anti-bullying song.
Yes.
So what inspired you to write those lyrics?
Well, I have one called Stand Together, which was just kind of like came over from school one day and was like everyone could be nicer to each other. But my song She's Falling, that is dedicated to Phoebe Prince, it's been like going out to schools and stuff. I had a friend who went through a really hard time with bullying and ended up like in the hospital and just kind of a mess, and I wrote that one for her.
That's awesome.
That's really nice.
So you're both songwriters. How do you come up with songs to write?
My life. I mean, sometimes it's my life, sometimes it's exaggerated my life. I don't.
Yeah.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever just sit down and say, I'm going to write a song, or does it more like happen upon you?
They're never as good when I say I'm gonna write a song. Kind of just has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your goals for the future in terms of your musical careers?
For me, I don't know that I really have any set goals. I really just love playing music. So as long as I'm playing music, I'm happy.
I think my goals are mainly in the writing side. I've been doing stuff in Nashville and writing with people, or starting to write with people in Nashville. I actually leave on Wednesday to go back down there, and I want to focus more on writing.
That's just like what
future.
Taylor Swift did to
Yeah.
get started.
Yeah.
So just like Taylor Swift.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about performing in front of an audience? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Must be a lot that you like about it.
I guess just the whole experience. I don't really have a favorite part, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
For me, I guess I'd have to say like being nervous at first and then getting on stage and you have all your adrenaline pumping and everything just kind of comes naturally and you have fun with it.
Yeah.
Do your friends treat you differently now that they know you guys are like great musicians and
kind
sing
of and be famous
Yeah.
potentially? Yeah. Is it affect you in school?
I mean, at first, I guess, but I think everyone just kind of gets used to it, and that's who you are. And
Yeah.
People around my school are always calling me the Green Rocker because I got involved with the program that Miss Patty set up, the Green Rocker program, and so now everyone calls me the Green Rocker and compares me to Justin Bieber and stuff. So everyone,
see the hair.
everyone kind of knows
Yeah.
me as the musician.
Yeah.
Have you been in a band at all, or is all your music just kind of by yourself?
Do you collaborate with anyone?
I started off alone, really young, and a couple years ago, I was in a group with a few other people. We called it Zero Gravity, and from then on, one girl went off to college, and other guys had work and stuff, so that group kind of fell apart. So now, going solo.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Hayley and Michael. We have to cut to a break right now, but it's been great talking to you. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Julia from YBA. For the past few years, I've been coming to the YBA training studios once a week or so. I'm so excited that now I'll be able to practice my broadcast skills with YBA Online. The new course has so much more than what we have learned at the studio. You can practice your delivery by recording a video with a simple click. You can even use a teleprompter to practice reading off that. I learned about the history of the industry and some of the greatest names in the business. You know what though? It was really a lot of fun. And there are some really funny videos, like the one of Jimmy Young doing his crazy warm-up exercises.
The next thing we want you to do is actually stretch the facial muscles in your face, which is a good place for facial muscles.
Or the one from Friends, and of course, all those crazy tongue twisters.
Betty Botter bought a bit of butter
The butter Betty Botter bought was a bit bitter,
and made her batter bitter.
but a bit of better butter bought batter better.
So Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter, making Betty Botter's bitter batter better.
Best of all though, I can practice my writing and reading from home on my schedule. And I can get coaching from one of the many professional broadcasters on staff. YBA Online allows me to learn by doing the job of a broadcaster every day if I want to. Hi, I'm Julia from YBA. For the past few years, I've been coming to the YBA training studios once a week or so. I'm so excited that now I'll be able to practice my broadcast skills with YBA Online. The new course has so much more than what we have learned at the studio. You can practice your delivery by recording a video with a simple click. You can even use a teleprompter to practice reading off that. I learned about the history of the industry and some of the greatest names in the business. You know what though? It was really a lot of fun. And there are some really funny videos, like the one of Jimmy Young doing his crazy warm-up exercises.
The next thing we want you to do is actually stretch the facial muscles in your face, which is a good place for facial muscles.
Or the one from Friends, and of course, all those crazy tongue twisters.
Betty Botter bought a bit of butter
The butter Betty Botter bought was a bit bitter,
and made her batter bitter.
but a bit of better butter bought batter better.
So Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter, making Betty Botter's bitter batter better.
Best of all though, I can practice my writing and reading from home on my schedule. And I can get coaching from one of the many professional broadcasters on staff. YBA Online allows me to learn by doing the job of a broadcaster every day if I want to. And you will have all the tools. For now, I'm Julia reporting about YBA Online. Welcome back. TeenLife is an organization that helps parents, high school and middle school students, and educators find hundreds of opportunities for teens, including student programs, summer programs, community service, and volunteer opportunities.
Today, YBA joined TeenLife at the Chestnut Hill Mall for their annual community service fair. Joining us now is Marie, how do you spell it?
Marie Schwartz.
Marie Schwartz, the Executive Director for TeenLife. Marie, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So, what's the importance of community service in high schools and high school students?
I think there's three benefits. One, it really benefits the student to meet people that are different from themselves. Second, it gives the school a great name if students from their school can help in the community, and it really improves the image of teens. Sometimes people don't think teens, are very caring or sensitive, but they actually are. And then third, it really helps the nonprofits because teens can bring a completely different skill set to an organization and different perspective. They understand the big picture. They can also, they're motivated to help, and so I think there's lots of benefits to getting teens involved.
Does it help with college in the future and other programs?
Oh, certainly. Actually, I had a great anecdote today. This woman came up to me, and she's an educational consultant, so she helps students with the college application process, and she said her student met this group that does dog therapy, and they were at our fair last year and got involved taking his dog to a nursing home or a hospital. And he did this whole YouTube video about it and sent it in as part of his college application. And so he got accepted at 2 colleges just because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of that event, actually, tell us about it today.
Well, we invited 50 organizations who are willing to engage teens as volunteers. So that's a little trickier than you might think. Students who are maybe as young as 13. Some will say that they only want students who are 16, which is fine. So we invite them, we give them a table and all kinds of things, and then we also have 20 supporting exhibitors. So these are businesses who want to be there and support this, because obviously the nonprofits can't really afford to spend a lot, pay for their space. So it's actually great. It's a win-win. Everybody gets traffic. The schools are more than happy to publicize the event because it's free, and we had about 1,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is TeenLife, and how can students get involved?
Well, TeenLife is basically a really amazing, comprehensive resource for all the things you can do when you're not in school. I like to say it helps you get started on life. So school obviously is important, but there's so many things you can do when you're not there. And so we have thousands of listings of summer programs, both overnight and here locally. We also have a big database of gap year programs. I don't know if you know what a gap year is.
It's where you postpone college for a year,
Exactly.
right?
And that's very popular, and it's hard to find that information. We have about 300 programs on our site. We also have resources that help you find a job or internship. So it walks you through the process of how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, how to network, how to interview. And we also have material on college admissions, just, how do you research the types of colleges that you might want to go to. So it's both program information and resources.
So do you have summer programs
Yeah.
too? And
Oh yeah, a lot.
What about community service, not in the United States, but in other third
Well,
world
there's a
countries?
kind of summer program which is a community service program. So the whole point of the summer program is to go and do some community service in a different country. And that falls under the summer program category. Mm-hmm.
And how did you personally get involved in TeenLife?
Well, I moved here when I was, when my kids were in 6th and 8th grade, and I knew nothing. And I had no friends. I mean, I had no, so I started looking online for what could they do over the summer, and I got involved with the schools, and it sounded like the other parents, the other families were also at a loss. There was all the parenting magazines that you find, tend to focus on kids that are under 12. And so it seems like there was a void for families with 13 to 18-year-olds. And, there's a summer camp fair occasionally, or there's a college fair, but nothing was all together on one page. So I started TeenLife really more as a volunteer activity for my son's school. And then people kept asking me, "Are you updating the information?" And so it just, one day I decided, if I'm gonna spend so much time on this, I better make it my business.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
So I think that's definitely a lot of good information for us, since we're all going through this right now in our lives. Thank you so much for joining
You're welcome,
us.
and thank you
Thank
for
you.
reporting on this.
Well, for Devon and Jess, I'm Julia, and this has been an episode of Back Talk Teen. Thanks for watching.